All existence begins at a coordinate prior to form. The Qur'an identifies this starting point as nafsan wahida, the single, unpaired soul, the primordial seed. Human perception typically interprets existence as a flat line. We see birth as a beginning and death as a termination, exact same structural function. Both are chambers of concealment. They correspond to the three darknesses of Surah 39, verse 6, protected environments where life is held in a state of potential before it is measured in the visible world. This suggests that darkness is not a conclusion. It is a mandatory traversal field. What appears to vanish from the visible register is simply moving through a hidden phase of the circuit. The path is seed 2, 3, 2, 7, returning to seed. The seed splits into parallel tracks of manifestation and memory. Note 3, the tree, connects them to exchange information. The tracks converge at node 7, the fruit, compressing the traversal into a new seed. Structurally, the system is designed to be lossless. The topology ensures that every unit of information is refolded into the origin to maintain the integrity of the loop. This layout maps the specific properties of the dual fields, which the DCU identifies as D10 and I9. D10 is the physical domain of Earth. It is the field of measurable mass, localized particles, and finite actions that we can observe. I9 is the imaginal field of water. It represents the hidden state of memory and continuous waves of information invisible to the physical eye. Surah 25, verses 45 and 46, describe the interaction between these two fields through the mechanics of light and shadow. A shadow is not an absence, but a structured projection. It is the physical D10 field registering the presence of the hidden I9 light source. The physical world we measure is merely the trace. The underlying source code is held within the continuous wave state of the I9 field. This abstract math is visible in the biological laws governing the natural world. Photosynthesis demonstrates the transition from the I9 wave state into physical form. A single leaf captures invisible wave energy and, through a structural negotiation, stores it as measurable physical mass. The insect chrysalis performs the inverse operation, focusing on the D10 physical field. A solid, highly structured organism enters a chamber of darkness and dissolves entirely into a formless, luminescent fluid. This total dissolution is a strict mechanical requirement. The physical structure must break down into its base informational state before it can reorganize into a system designed for flight. Biology reveals that physical decoherence and darkness is the mandatory path for structural emergence. We see the drive toward this necessary darkness in a botanical behavior called scototropism. Certain climbing vines actively grow away from the light, snaking directly toward the deepest shadow they can find. The shadow signals the presence of a massive tree trunk. The vine requires that structural support to eventually climb upward and reach the canopy's light. This relationship between hidden support and visible growth maps to node 3, the tree. The tree bridges the two fields, with its roots anchored in the dark physical D10 and its leaves processing the I9 wave state. It acts as the universal buffer where raw data from the imaginal field is converted into kinetic action in the physical world. A top-down view of the 237 model reveals 4 outer nodes orbiting a dark, inactive core. While the topology is structurally designed for recursion, the circuit itself is stationary. Without an operator, it remains a field of dormant potential. A local execution node is required to bridge the gap between the physical and the informational registers. This central node is the active human observer. The framework identifies this participant as the reader. Without this activation, the system defaults to the state mentioned in Surah 15, verse 72. This is a state of intoxication. In this mode, the individual components of the system wander without alignment, causing the potential signal of the loop to be lost in noise. The structural perfection of the universe remains in a state of suspension until the reader makes the active choice to engage the circuit. The command to engage the circuit is found in Surah 19, verse 12. The text instructs, "Take the book with strength." In semiconductor physics, this command functions like a forward bias. It provides the necessary pressure to overcome the resistance between the dual fields, pushing charges across the central gap to initiate current. Taking the book with strength is a kinetic execution. It bridges the measurable physical body with the wave state information of the origin. Once current flows, the static 2D diagram unfolds into a higher dimensional reality. The interlocked nodes expand into a tesseract of continuous light, a system that now moves across both manifestation and memory simultaneously. This completed traversal yields the fruit at node 7, which preserves the path of the reader and immediately resets the seed for the next cycle. This recursion fulfills the purpose stated in Surah 38, verse 46, the pure remembrance of the home. The topology of return is structurally complete. The living tesseract is active. The only variable is your choice to apply the grip.